Hello everyone, and welcome back to your grade 11 English lesson. Today we are going to be starting a new unit, which is Unit 11. Unit 11 is all about the planet and how the planet might be in a little bit of danger. How is it in danger? This is what we're going to find out. So in Unit 11, we're going to talk about how the planet might be in danger and how we can save the planet and take it out of the danger zone. But before that, we need to take a look at the vocabulary items. So what I need you to do is take a piece of pen and paper, write down the things that we're about to say, and let's get started. So, as always, I'm first going to give you a picture and with the words right under that, and then what I want you to do is to tell me what is the picture that best corresponds, or what is the word that best corresponds to the picture. Are you ready? Let's go ahead. So, we have the first picture, positive feedback, negative feedback. So when you give someone, or when you're giving someone feedback, what are you doing? Are you red-tied? Are you joint? No, you are appraising them. So the word appraise means to judge the value or quality of something. So for example, it is very important to appraise our chances of winning before starting the project. Did you get that one? Let's look at the next one. So we have water, we have fish, we have a few seaweeds and plants under the sea. So what could that be? What could be the best word that corresponds to the picture? Did you get that one? I'm sure you did because it's very easy. It comes from the word aqua. It's actually aquaculture. Aqua is the Greek word for water. So this is just for your information. So for example, look at the definition. The rearing of aquatic animals or the cultivation of aquatic plants for food. So for example, aquaculture is dominated by salmon. Did you get that one? I'm sure you did. Let's go to the next one. This is a very sad picture of trees being cut down. So when we cut down trees or forests, what do we do to them? Exactly right, we deforest them. So deforestation is a noun, which means the cutting down or burning down of all the trees in an area. They usually do this to make place for buildings and more settlements. So for example, the destruction of trees has resulted in complete deforestation of the island. Did you get that one? Very good, excellent. Let's look at the next one. So we have a picture of the globe with trees, houses, factories. So what do we call this? What do we call all of this? It is ecological, so it's an adjective. Ecological means biological or environmental. So let's look at the example. The ecological damage that this project would cause is almost unimaginable. So there's a certain project that would cause ecological damage. So damage to the biology of the area, damage to the environment of the area, it's called ecological. Did you get that? So you can notice that the words are very planet-oriented, right? Let's look at the next words. So you have a picture of money, dollar signs. So did you get that? So when you're giving money to someone, what are you doing? You are funding them. Very good. So the word fund is a verb, and it means to provide with money for a particular purpose. So you're giving money for a particular purpose or a project, for example. So for example, the center is funded largely by donations from abroad. So people give them money. They fund them with money. Did you get that? Let's look at another word. So we have 4 people and they are coming together. What is this called? When you come together, you are having a... Excellent, very good. It's a joint. So joint means, it's an adjective, and it means to come closer together, or it means to join together. So definition is it's shared, it's held, or made by 2 or more people or organizations. So for example, the joint project stopped due to some differences between the companies. So there are 2 companies, and they were joined together, and they had a joint project. But it had to stop because there were some differences. Did you get that one? Let's look at the other picture. So waves. So when you look at waves, what do you think of? Do you think of the land life or the marine life? I think I gave you the answer, right? It's marine, of course. And marine is an adjective. So marine means of, or found, or produced by the sea. As simple as that. So for example, dolphins and whales are some of the marine animals. Did you get that one? Let's look at the other picture. So we have 2 people holding hands. So when you're holding hands and you're together, you're entering a partnership. Very good. Partnership is a noun. And what it means is association or collaboration. So for example, Ahmed joined the partnership last year. So there was a partnership and they joined in together. Did you get that one? Let's look at the other word. So we have a lot of activities happening. So when there are a lot of activities, it's called leisure and recreation. Very good. Recreation is a noun, and it is the activity done for enjoyment when one is not working. So for fun. So for example, I decided to take a bike tour on the island for recreation, for fun. Let's look at the other word. So there's a tide, and it's in the color of red. It cannot get any easier than this, guys. It is red tide. So red tide is a noun, and it is the discoloration of seawater caused by a bloom of toxic red organisms. So let's look at the example. The red tide cannot be controlled by humans. Did you get that one? It was pretty easy, right? So let's take a look at the multiple choice questions. So number 1, the farming of sea creatures is called... So we have farms on land where we farm cows, sheep, right? What if we are trying to farm fish? What do we call that? Do we call it recreation or deforestation or partnership or aquaculture? It's fish. It's aquaculture. Very good. Let's look at number 2. We will have to ask for a bank loan to blank the project. So you're going to a bank. Why? Because you want a loan to fund the project. Very good. Excellent. Let's look at question number 3. The government will develop an project with other countries. So we have one government in collaboration with other governments. So when that happens, what is that? It's a joint project. Very good, excellent. Question number 4. Scientists are working in blank with each other. So scientists, we have scientists, and they are working in together, yes. Partnership with each other. Very good. So let's look at question number, or the gap filling. So we have partnership, marine, deforestation, appraised, ecological, and red tide. Question number 1. We need an expert to blank the house before we buy it. So we need an expert to appraise the house before we buy it. Very good. Let's look at question number 3. The soybean industry threatens the world with widespread... So what do you think? The soybean industry threatens the world with widespread deforestation. Why? Because they need to cut down the trees for the soybean. Right? Okay, very good. Let's look at question number 3. The greatest blank disasters have occurred because of mankind. So the greatest what disasters? Ecological disasters. Very good. Excellent. So, Unit 11. What is it talking to me about? As you may have noticed, we've spoken a lot about marine life, aquaculture, the ecological system of a place or a land. We've talked about farming. We've talked about a lot of stuff. Deforestation. Why? What is all this going to be about? This is all going to be about the planet in danger. The planet is in danger from a lot of stuff. Okay? We'll put them in a short list just to make it easier for you. So, the planet might be in danger because of deforestation. Cutting down the trees can cause severe disasters for the planet. Why? First of all, there won't be enough CO2 and oxygen. Second of all, animals will lose their habitat. Birds, squirrels, animals, they will lose their habitat because they live in the trees, and if you cut it down, what will happen to their houses? Litter. This is a very big problem that people have. They throw away their litter and they don't put it in places where it's supposed to go, like the garbage bin, for example. This will cause pollution. And this is, of course, a threat to our planet. Toxic fumes that are coming out from cars. There are a lot of cars, millions of cars around the world. Each car emits a toxic fume. And this all goes into the air. And this can cause air pollution. Deforestation, we've talked about. Because people are expanding, people are starting to resort to deforestation to cut down the trees and build more houses. But this, of course, takes away from the beauty of our planet. And this, of course, harms the animals that live on this planet. So let's look at the set book question. Why is our planet in danger? So I want you to think about this for a second. Why do you think our planet is in danger? I've spoken about a lot of matters and a lot of issues. So what do you think? Well, look at this answer. Our planet is in danger because of deforestation, pollution, global warming, our cultivation, and overgrazing. We've talked about deforestation, which is cutting down the trees. We've talked about pollution, which is litter thrown around in the ground, which causes pollution. We've talked about air pollution coming out from the cars and the factories, which causes global warming. And we've talked about cultivation again. Let's look at the other set book question. How can governments protect endangered species of animals from extinction? So we have a few animals that people tend to hunt. They hunt them for specific things that they have. So for example, people may hunt elephants for their tusks because it's made of ivory. For example, people may hunt tigers because of their fur. So what can the government do to protect these animals? Can you think of something? I'm sure you have it right there in the back of your mind. Governments can protect endangered species by banning hunters from hunting them and building game parks for animals. So for example, in Kuwait we have Al Jahra Nature Resort, which is a place where animals can be at without the fear of being hunted. Another example of this is China, for example. China are protecting the panda that live there. There are fewer than, I think it's less than 2,000 pandas now, and this is all because of illegal hunting. So what China is doing now is it's protecting these pandas by building places for it to be in. Okay? One more question. Red tides have become a global disaster recently. What are the dangers of this event? So, red tides, what are they? Sometimes when people go to the beach, usually the color of the water is blue because it reflects the sky, right? But sometimes in some countries and parts of the world, the tide becomes red. Did you know that? You can Google and search that. Why does this happen? This is because of a certain bacteria that is in the water that are colored red, and sometimes other different colors, which cause a red tide, which causes the tide in water to become red. So, the question again says, red tides have become a global disaster recently. What are the dangers of this event? So what can a red tide cause? Massive fish are killed due to the various kinds of bacteria, and water is polluted. So these bacteria cause a lot of fish to lose their lives, and the number of fish decreases. So that means that people will not be able to find many fish in the sea because of red tide. So this is one disaster that it can cause. Another disaster that it can cause is the water itself is polluted. The water is not pure anymore. Why? Because of the bacteria that are in them. Did you get those answers? I'm sure you did. Like I said in previous episodes, watch these episodes more than once so you can get the idea of the unit and you can understand what the unit is all about. I'm sure if you watch these episodes more than once, you will be able to get these ideas. So to summarize everything up, we have looked at why the planet is in danger. We've looked at some of the reasons why the planet is in danger. We've looked at some of the vocabulary items that are connected to this unit. And to finish everything up, I really hope that you guys watch this episode again and you can revise everything that we have said. Until next time.